Ladies and gentlemen,
Hey guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be recreating some OCs. Well, not really recreating so much as creating them for the first time. The only one that is being recreated, well, the only ones that are being recreated are BB, who will be created later in the video, and AU, who you are seeing on your screen right now. AU is the character that is Lucita's BFF. Like, she is Lucita's bestie. But Lucita's bestie... AU, this is her old design. She needs a new makeover and everything. Also, I'm outside, so excuse the dog barking. I do have pets. So, in today's video, I'm going to be recreating these characters, starting with AU, and then I'm going to be recreating BB at the end of the video. BB will be last, but between AU and BB, I will be making Ryder, who is one of my IRL, who is in real life one of my best friends, but that's his OC and not his real name. It came to me. Anyway, and I'm going to be also creating Nala. Nala is a character who is one of Ivy's siblings. So we're going to be getting started with AU. I am playing this back at 2.0 times playback speed in CapCut, so this video might be a little speedy, but I will try to voice over only what is important about AU's redesign. So originally, this is AU. She's originally she is a preset from Gacha, so don't be mad at me. But I love her design, I love who she is. I did add some minor adjustments to make her the character that you guys see on my channel, or you never see her. This is her redesign, this is her first debut, oh my goodness. But anyway, her first debut was on my Scratch channel in a project called Dance Like This Meme. She was then later reintroduced in the Unholy meme that I did. If you want to check those out, be sure to go to my Scratch channel. I will make sure to link it in the description below. And let's get started with AU's design. So AU, I love her. I love her golden hair. Especially love those eyes. And as you can see, I've already gotten started. So we'll get started. Zoom in. I'm going to change her eyes. Oh, screen time. I'm going to change her eyes to a more redder color. That one's perfect. I am voicing over, so yeah. Next, I'm going to her clothes. I'm going to remove I removed the shirt logo because, yeah. So she does have this flower thing going on, and I want to recreate that by giving her a flower crown. Originally, it was going to be a flower crown, but then I ended up getting this flower. I made the leaves a muted kind of green, and then I ended up making the flower itself a light yellow from the top. And then I made the outline of it a dark green from the darker options, and then I adjusted it. After making these adjustments to make it look a bit better, make her look a bit more unique, then I added the outline color, and then I went in and gave her a band-aid on the face. Context of the band-aid is she does not have good parents. Her parents are really bad to her. They mistreat poor AU, even though she doesn't deserve it. So she doesn't have a good home life. After looking around with a bunch of colors, I ended up giving the band-aid, instead of giving it more poppy colors, I ended up giving it more like realistic colors. I readjusted it. I didn't like how it looked on that cheek, so I ended up moving it back over to the other cheek. Right here, there we go, and it's in place. Next, for her shirt, I originally was gonna go with the tucked in, I was originally gonna go with the little one that looks like it has a rabbit, but I couldn't find a belt option that covered it that looked like a good shirt option, so that's this process. Anyway, so basically, yeah. Anyway, I wanted to go with, then I was going to go with the tucked in striped shirt option, but then I went in with the thinner striped shirt on page 4. Then I went in with, then I was trying to find some sleeves that looked good. These on this page did not look good. Then I found some that looked okay from page 4 of the sleeves, and then I ended up giving her shirt this pastel yellow and the light blue from the preset options in the bottom. I didn't like how the green looked, and I liked how the light blue made it look. I added the same color to the sleeves. Then I went on and I was gonna add a belt, but then I thought, I won't use it. I'll use some pants that don't require the belt to look good. I ended up, originally I was going to go with a look for AU where her pants were going to be tucked into her shoes. Kind of like she was wearing boots or something. But then I got distracted by the leg warmers and I wanted to do something cute with the leg warmers. So I gave her yellow and blue striped leg warmers, and then I adjusted her socks to make it look like her shoes were continuing with the pattern. But after a second of staring at this and realizing I couldn't find any pants that actually looked good tucked in, and realizing the pants did not look good tucked in and it was not her style, I did end up making her pants gray though. And I did not like how that looked, so I went in and added the top. I did end up keeping the shirt the way it was, and I did end up keeping that belt the gray. I did end up keeping the pants the same gray color, but then I did not like how it looked. So I went in and I changed her shoes to these sneakers, since she does have a more tomboy attitude, tomboy style. And I ended up changing them to these shoes, and I switched up the colors, and then I went in and changed her pants to some longer pants, and then I went in and gave her some striped gloves. I decided to make them matching, making them alternating on each arm, and I think this looks adorable. I love how AU looks. And this is AU, I believe she's almost done. I went in and decided I wanted to add something on her shirt, so I ended up adding this little design on her shirt that looks kind of like a heart, and after adjusting it to the right spot, I was gonna make it one of the colors on the shirt, but then I made it the outline color, and there we go. I think AU is pretty much done. I couldn't really find anything else that I thought would look cute on her, honestly. I wanted to add anything else, but I just couldn't find anything else. I honestly love AU's new design. Her design is now super cute and coordinated and not at all a preset. I love her cute little, however you pronounce the word, with the thing at the top of the head. I love how it looks like little leaves. I love AU so much, and her whole character design and her whole backstory and everything. It's just so sweet. She is super sweet. If you stick around, you'll see other characters that I'm going to be creating and giving life to, giving a style to, who are going to be involved in taking care of AU. AU has become like a sister to Lucita, even though they are best friends, but yeah, we all have that one friend that's like a sibling to us. Anyway, so yeah, AU is done. I love her redesign. I love the blue and the yellow. They go so well with her. I love the gloves on her. I love her eyes. I just love everything about her. I think the flower in her hair really ties everything together, and I'm so glad I ended up changing the pants and the shoes to what they are, because honestly before, I did like the style, but it was just not working for AU. I would have had to change everything else, including her hairstyle, to make it fit. So I'm so glad that AU is finally done, and now we can move on. Next up is Ryder. Ryder is a character based off of my IRL boy best friend. So I hope I don't do my friend dirty. So let's get started. First up, I had this horrible greeny yellow color for his hair, which was so I decided to change it to a more lighter tone. Since my friend and my boyfriend have similar hair colors, I ended up deciding to go with the same thing I have for Dom's OC. With that, I couldn't remember that color, so I left it blue. And then I went in and tried to find him a hat. That's the thing about this friend. He always has a hat on him. I didn't like how any of these looked except for the backwards cap one, so I ended up going with that. This friend is also a huge fan of the Gamecocks, so I made it garnet and dark blue. I removed that. I removed the logo, and I ended up going in. I was struggling for a bit to find the right shirt. Because my friend, he's mostly always wears a hoodie, so I wanted to look for a good, unique hoodie look. I didn't want him to look too much like Dylan, or Dom. I'm still working on the name for my boyfriend's OC. And then I made it a dark gray color, because that's normally the colors that he wears of a hoodie. I gave him some normal jeans, lightened up the color for the jeans. And then after lightening up the color for the jeans, I went in and gave him... So I gotta explain something. He and my boyfriend are very similar, except he's a year older than my boyfriend. But he wears sneakers, whereas my boyfriend is always wearing boots in just about everything. So yeah, I ended up making his shoes both all gray, gave him the little part, and then a belt, because he's always wearing a belt. Because he's normally always wearing a belt. I played with the colors of the belt a little bit before deciding on what I liked. I gave him a shirt logo because I felt like it was missing something, and I ended up making it the garnet color from his hat. I thought I was done, but I wasn't. I wanted to add something else. My friend always has an earbud in, so I went in and I was looking for the AirPod in the clothes accessory one spot before I remembered that it's actually in the facial accessories. But give me a second. He's always wearing an earbud, even though it's against school rules to wear earbuds. So he breaks rules on a daily basis, which is fun. Anyway, I ended up making the earbud dark gray. I was gonna go with white, but he doesn't wear white earbuds, so I gave him dark gray. I thought I was done, and then I remembered a final... Oh yeah, this is the point where I had to check to make sure that I was still recording. And then turned back on Do Not Disturb, and I went in and I ended up going in to add a watch. He's not the type of person to wear gloves. I ended up giving him a army style watch where it's like gray. I played around with the shirt logo a little bit to try to give it a better look. I struggled to keep it on the first one. I ended up trying to be pleased with how it looked and settling on a location for it. Yeah, I was gonna add something else. I looked for just about anything else I could add because I didn't like how basic his OC looked. I was like playing around, seeing what else would look good. But I ended up thinking, yeah, I fixed some of the outline colors and fixed some of the coloring, and then he was pretty much done. I did a few last minute decisions. I was gonna try to add some facial stuff to make him look a bit more tired since he always seems tired, but he was pretty much done, and so Ryder is complete. Honestly, Ryder's design is kind of normal for me. I'm not really impressed by it. I do often make normal looking OCs like this. I mean, it's how I made Becca, my IRL OC, and my boyfriend's IRL OC as well. So yeah, and honestly, I think I got my friend's essence pretty spot on. I didn't end up adding props or anything. Also, just to let you know, head adjustments and body and height adjustments were made previous to this, along with adding in the hair. In this video, I may or may not have changed some of my original decisions, especially with his original hair color I was going to give him. Was I really going to do him that dirty? Anyway, yeah, I'm very satisfied with the way Ryder came out, and yeah, so he's finished. Let's move on to Nala. Next up is Nala. She is not only Ivy's older sister, but she is also the character I designed specifically to ship with Ryder, because I didn't want to make another IRL OC, because then I was going to have to create more, so Nala is going to be shipped with Ryder. Okay, so let's get started making her. Originally, I made her hair like this. I didn't like how light it was, so I did end up darkening the color of her hair, changing it up a bit, and making her highlights pure white, because, I mean, she's Nala. I then went in, and I wanted to give her a cozy style, because Nala's eyes are that way because she's colorblind. I don't know if colorblind people, I know they see colors different ways, and so for Nala, the colors that look more appealing to her are faded colors. So faded colors scream cozy vibe to me. So I ended up deciding to, go with the cozy theme. I wanted to go with the sweater, but then I went into the sleeves and I want to try something new. These sleeves were screaming at me. Originally, I was going to do this sweater, and then I went for like a faded kind of like strawberry color scheme. You'll see where the green comes in a second. I did take away the logo because I'm not going to be needing that. And I did give her the belt thingy, and I gave her a jacket because she loves being cozy and nice and warm, and I wanted to try something new for her shirt. So I went in, I was looking at different styles of stuff that I could try, and then I could not find what I wanted for her. I just couldn't find it. Like, it was like not coming to me what style Nala was supposed to have. And then I saw this sweater. I loved it. I ended up I wanted to try to find a color that went with it. I couldn't figure out how I wanted it on the front, so I ended up making the pink on the top and adding a dark faded green to the bottom to give it a kind of strawberry vibe. And then I made the jacket the green, used green on the jacket as well, just so that it matched the vibe. Then I fixed the outline of everything. I then went, give me a second, gotta catch up, voicing over is speeding up. I did adjust a lot. I gave her the same jeans as Ryder, but I made them much lighter. And then I went in and added the fuzzy topped boots, because it just adds to the cozy, and also I haven't used this in forever. And I lightened up her pants. I added in her socks because I just felt like giving her socks. I gave her gray socks with faded gold stars. I fixed the outline of everything. Then I gave her her tail. I made it the same color as her hair, and I struggled with the outline because I'm outside doing this, so I didn't really see the outline that good. I adjusted her tail because I didn't want it to be in the basic shape. I did fix it, and then I did end up fixing the outline later, so don't worry. I wanted to give her some headpiece. She loves fall, so I wanted to try to give her something fall related for her hair accessories. So I went to the top accessory and I gave her this pumpkin hair piece. First, I adjusted it, and then I gave it faded. I was gonna give it faded orange, but then I gave it this light orange color, and I loved it. I changed the outline to be a darker orange color, and then I realized the tail color was off, the outline color was off, so that's where I changed it. Screen distance. And I wanted to give her a cute hat, but sadly she couldn't, and I really wanted to give one of the OCs that bear hat. But then I went in and she needed something else. So this polka dotted bow was screaming at me. I went and got it so that it would be on top, and I adjusted it so it would be on the other side. As I'm adjusting it, I will say, I love this bow. And I do realize that they're not polka dots, that they're hearts, but they'll be polka dots for this purpose. I decided to make it incorporate the fall vibe, so I ended up making the bow a dark red and giving it some light yellow spots and making the outline a darker red. And then I went in and gave her some freckles and made them a darker brown, and well, I think that's it. Yep, Nala is finished.
I absolutely 100% love Nala's redesign. She is super cute, super duper cute. I love the color scheme, and I love how her sweater looks like freaking strawberry. And I think this color scheme and her overall look is definitely going to make her a great candidate for shipping with Ryder. So I'm very, very proud of how this turned out. 10 out of 10, would recommend with strawberries covered in chocolate. I don't know why that part. I just think the bow and the pumpkin tie it all together, especially the fuzzy boots. Alright, so next up, the final one is Bibi. Last but certainly not least is Bibi. Bibi is the character who I ship with Youngblood. Youngblood is Ivy's bionic brother. I posted something on Scratch about him, and Mark, the shifter character that I have. So yeah, he has been posted about. So go to Scratch if you want to see that. I will eventually make that YouTube video. I swear. I hope, hopefully. Anyway, let's get started with Bibi. So Bibi, I gave her dark brown hair and then a pale blue streak in her hair. So for Bibi, I ended up giving her a pale blue streak in her hair, and because I thought that looked good, and I gave her like golden eyes. I then wanted to start with a specific accessory. I wanted to start with the accessories, so I started with some purple earrings. Because I wanted her to have purple. Purple is her vibe. I wanted her to be unique. I was looking for something to inspire me when I saw this, and I got the most brilliant idea that I've ever gotten for a character. Our friend BB here, whose sleeves I'm probably going to change now that I'm looking back at this, is a 100% diehard cosplayer. She loves cosplaying, but her favorite thing to do out of all the cosplaying is going to Renaissance fairs and medieval festivals, and she loves it so much, reenactment stuff. So for her scheme, I went with muted purple for her color scheme. It's a very medieval color choice, but it's also super her. I gave her some gray shorts because, she is going to be wearing pants. I then gave her the armor. I ended up giving her the armor on the bottom, and then on the top, I gave her a sword. I kept the purple color palette, including using the grayed purple colors at the top to make the armor, the metal part of it, look more purple, but also give it the vanilla touch. I did realize you could see her shorts. I struggled with the shorts a little bit after I fixed the colors. I went in, I removed her socks, and I gave her the boots that I used for my Inner Demons characters. I did the gray toned purples, and then I went in to fix her shorts. Because I didn't like how they looked, and I kind of wanted that under thing that you see in the princesses, the poofy under thing. I just ended up keeping it the same. I struggled with it for a few minutes. And I ended up keeping it the same. But I ended up keeping it just the way it was, and moving on. Then I zoomed in and moved on. I was going to give her some armor, but then I decided to use this trick with the band-aids. You click on the band-aids, and you make the outline, the main color, and the secondary color all the same. They look like adding to the knees. And then I was going to give her, so I did that, and then I was going to put shoulder armor. Ended up taking that away because I didn't like how that looked. And it made the top look really cluttered. I was going to give her some hand armor and change the sleeves, but I ended up just keeping it this way. I liked it like that. I then went in and gave her a headpiece of armor, and making sure that the color scheme went along with it. I changed it right before coloring it with the gray purple. And then I went in and I got her a crown. I wanted something simple, but the simple one was too far for me. And then I ended up going with this one. I adjusted it to make it smaller and put it more on her head. I did tilt it slightly. And I changed the size quite a bit. Time to adjust it to make it look perfect. Then I gave it a gold color, and then I struggled with the color of jewel I was going to do, and then I ended up doing sapphire jewels. And with that, she's almost done. I ended up giving her glasses like Ivy's, but making them a gold outline. And then I gave her freckles. I wanted to give her something on her face because the face felt empty, so I ended up giving her a lot of freckles. I went to the final freckle eye option and gave her those. I gave her the final freckle option and made them brown. Down was a minute before I decided to give her the many freckles. I gave her the many freckles, and with that, I darkened her nose to make it stand out, adjusted the freckles, and with that, Dee is finished. You look so much. She looks so unique, so cute, and I love her. She's a super big fan of cosplay. In some future videos, I definitely will have her not having as much cosplay stuff on, but she's adorable. Look at her. She's so cute. I'm so happy the way that her design came out, and the way all four of her designs came out. They're amazing.
I decided to go to AI text-to-speech to spare y'all's ears. Anyways, I love these OCs so much. I'm so glad I made this video. See y'all Friday with episode 4 of Demons of the Past. Bye.
And I've heard of a love that comes once in a lifetime, and I'm pretty sure that you are that love of mine. 'Cause I'm in a field of dandelions, wishing on everyone that you would be mine, mine.